we streaming to?
YouTube.
Oh, we're just streaming direct to YouTube, huh?
Right
We are
now. We're live right
we
now.
are live. I see the word. Interesting.
Where is the word?
It's on the
it's
bottom
on the
middle.
bottom.
13 seconds.
Good. Okay, so I'm going to share it.
Okay.
Okay.
Hello.
Oh, that sounds nice. Oh, okay. Hey.
Good intro.
Hey, everybody. Okay, no. Okay. Hey, everybody. Welcome to... Good.
I think.
Do you like that?
I mean, I think the emphasis was a little off. I think it should just be
okay,
like,
okay.
oh, good.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to... Oh, good.
I don't think we want to
Actually,
be
no, what
passive,
what I should say... No, what
passive aggressive
okay.
about it.
No, what is the best idea is for me to go, when people come in, I go, like, when people join, this is how we do it. When people start listening to the show, I'll just go, oh, good, you're listening.
Good. A viewer.
Uh-huh.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Man,
So, and then,
get out of
okay,
hand.
so let's get some, okay, so first off, thanks for everybody who's going to listen to this show, because this is an actual podcast that we'll put out, you know, because I always put out.
Unlike the last one, that was an actual podcast that we didn't put out.
Oh, you motherfucker. You see this? You see this here? No? See that?
I don't see what you're talking. I don't understand any
Now
of those
hold
squiggles.
on here. See?
Is that an earthquake? Is that what we're looking at?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, I'm trying to figure out, built-in microphone. That's not right. That's not any of what I want.
Oh, are we recording with the computer?
Yeah, it was trying to record on. Let me change that, you piece of crap.
Wow, the viewers are definitely getting a behind-the-scenes look.
No, that's great. This is the. You know what? This is the way I like this.
Oh, good.
I'm doing this on purpose.
I put myself under extenuating pressure.
Uh-huh.
What is that word? Extenuating? Extraneous? Just strenuous?
Is there no
Other mic?
I'm really confused because very interesting.
That one's definitely... Yeah, that's picking up our microphones for sure.
For fuck's sake. All right, hey everybody, welcome to Oh Good. You know what? For a show called Oh Good, it's not good. No, I was gonna say for a show called Oh Good,
It's not good.
it's good that we're having all of these issues doing anything because there you go.
Hey.
There you go, little fella.
So I think now they can hear us.
Okay, hey. So now, thank you for joining the YouTube show Oh Good and the podcast. If you're listening to us later on at timespentpoorly.fun, plug, that means you're listening to the podcast version of this, and we thank you for that as well. Fucking, great.
Okay,
Good.
so...
Fucking good.
So...
My name is Derek.
There you go, and I'm Rick.
And this is Rick.
Thank you.
And normally, see, we were doing Let's Plays, and we're still gonna do them. We're not gonna quit Let's Plays.
Yeah. I think
It's
I played too
just-
many video games to not.
Right. It's just I also wanted to do this, but I still gotta take care of that window. So I'm gonna fix that real quick.
We'll do it live?
Because I like to, I like to do things live.
Nice. All right, well.
It's good to have a really terrible first episode because later on you go back and watch it.
There's something to shoot for?
Well, no, I always edit shit out that I hate.
That's fair. So, like he said, that's Derek, and I'm Rick. This is the Time Spent Poorly Fun, and this is the Oh Good podcast. And oh yeah, that's much better. I mean, it's still kind of glary, but it's much better. Yeah.
Much better.
So let's kind of go over the Oh Good. So how long have you been using that as your tag for your streams?
Okay. So that is a lot better. Okay, and it's a kitty cat. Okay, so Oh Good came from when I was doing Let's Plays down at I was doing them down at Talk Nerdy to Me, which was a comic book store that I owned for 1 year.
That's as long as you need to own one. Now you're an expert.
That's as long as I would ever care to own one. Ever again. And I would die, and I basically... Do you remember that Christian Bale, like, rant?
The Machinist.
No.
Oh, sorry.
I started
The
trying to picture
oh,
the Machinist, and
yeah.
I'm like, does that happen? No.
No.
No, do you remember the rant that he did in, like, behind the scenes? They had, like, the audio.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, good for you.
Right after, like, Russell Crowe, like, that whole time.
Yeah.
When, like,
So he, oh my god, this camera adds like 300 pounds, I think. There I was.
Adds 300 pounds?
Yeah, it adds 350
Damn.
pounds. So there I was, fatter than ever, doing this
Me and Russell Crowe, just being as fat as we can.
Speed. So there I was, just as fat as ever. Okay, so, I just now realized that I don't like,
Me, and I should leave? Okay.
No,
The audio's bad again?
no, the audio's fine.
We should really hire an audio guy.
You know what we should get?
Or girl.
There we go. I feel like... But you know what? You know what it is?
What is it?
I need to not look at the video. Because I'm going to get self-conscious, and then I'm not going to want to do the video.
Okay. Don't do the video, or don't watch the video then. I was trying to move DB9 so he's looking at the camera.
If I watch the video...
How'd that do?
I'll freak
Here,
out.
flip that over.
Okay.
I want to see.
See, now I got to watch the video.
Well,
again.
don't watch it. Just look at it. It's like, yeah, there we go.
Oh,
Perfect.
there we go. That's our co-host,
Hey.
BB-8. Okay,
Is it 8?
so-
I've been calling him 9.
Oh, I
Ugh.
don't know.
I might get crucified now
Yeah.
by Star Wars people.
Make sure when you talk into the mic, though, you don't get too loud because it'll clip. Apparently, I can't
Yeah.
stop it.
Ruined a whole podcast.
Can't stop. I know we did the whole show. Okay, I'm sorry. So it was during that I took it basically from that rant when he like yells at like the craft service dude or whatever, and he's like, "Oh, good for you," you know. So I was like, every time I would die down on that channel, I'd be like, "Oh, good," you know, like because I suck at games. And then now I just decided I was like, that's a funny name for the stream. And then I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna do it as a podcast now.
Yeah.
And then because I have so many issues with audio, like too many issues.
Yeah,
with
I think
audio.
it's kind of like devolved into a different, like it's not meant aggressively anymore. It's more just like, oh, good. Like,
Yeah.
saw that coming. Like,
Yeah, I'm not even aggressively mad anymore. I'm just actually, like, I'm so passive on it now that it just pisses me off. Like,
yeah. Hopefully,
I'm not mad enough to be like angry, but now I'm just mad to where I'm like, I'm massively passive about it.
Yeah. Hopefully it'll get to the point where it's like, oh, good, a problem. Like we knew one was coming and it's here. Like then that's positive. Like
Yeah,
it's to the point where it's like you're rolling it over. Now it's a positive. Oh,
When
good.
you watch those streams online and you watch, because I watch quite a few different channels. I mean, like 4. Honestly, it feels like a lot, but it's like 3 or 4.
You spend a lot of time
But
watching
you don't
videos.
watch.
Not a lot of different
but
content.
they don't podcast about the shitty audio problems and tech problems they have because they're like having to Google stuff. But you know that like
Yeah.
Funhouse, Rooster Teeth, those guys.
Guaranteed.
They have so many issues.
They've all had a very first podcast where
Yeah.
they're like, why the fuck am I recording with the laptop? Like, that shit happens to everybody, I'm sure.
Well, and I'm also like, remember I told you, so I think I told you that I basically am combining 10-year-old technology
Ooh.
with new technology, and then I was trying to work in gaming as well. And all of that I was trying to run through basically the headphone jack of the Xbox controller. So that...
What? Are you serious?
Mhm.
Is that your original... That's what you were originally recording with? Was the Xbox controller mic?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I was taking everything... What? Why? What? I hate Siri. Apple, your company sucks.
So
But we should dedicate this first episode just how much I hate Apple, but I use their stuff.
okay,
But not really.
that's fine.
But anyway, you know those shows though, those channels.
Good talk.
We'll talk more about it. We were just talking about Jobs and Woz
Yeah,
before this
so-
show, like how Jobs
Wizard of
is
Woz.
slightly cooler than Woz
Well, yeah, he's the
because he was
face
cool
man.
enough. Anyway,
That's a good way to put it. He's the face man.
yeah.
And then Woz is just like, hey, look what I invented. And Jobs is like, oh, look what we invented. And then
Look what we did together. I imagine it was a little bit like Ben Affleck and Matt Damon when they wrote Good Will Hunting. It was actually
Yeah.
like Matt Damon did the work and Ben Affleck was like, yeah, look what we wrote. He was like, hey, we made a thing.
oh, it's
And,
really cool that both of our names are on this.
Matt's like, Matt's like, Matt, I wrote this movie, and he's like, did you? Oh, I think we did. I just now noticed something.
What's that?
I think this is. It looks like it's not peaking. Oh man. You know,
So-
this is a confusing world that I live in.
Okay.
I hope that this thing's recording and
The
sounds
weirdest
good.
yeah, it's so weird how small those lines are. It's kind of
I don't
freaky
like
to
that. That's scary to me.
me. Yeah.
And it still feels like it's still. I'm combining too old of technology with too young of technology. That's what's going on. But I don't know how other people do it. And you know what? I'm fine. It's just fine. If it doesn't, at least on the YouTube channel, it looks like the sound is not too bad going out.
No, it looked fine on there too. It's just the wavy lines were too small.
You know, it's just scary. But this is a scary thing we're doing here.
Yeah, dude.
I didn't share it on Facebook because I'm just too.
You don't
it's
want
just
people to
too,
see it. That's fair. Ashamed, I think, is the word.
No, you stop it. I was gonna. I do need to share it on the Facebook though. But anyway, so we were gonna do more Let's Plays, and I still would like to do Let's Plays, but I gotta figure that stuff out. You don't get to see Rooster Teeth behind the scenes trying to work that shit out though. But you know they got some IT guy in there that's just like, God damn it! You want me to do what?
If you go, so essentially, yeah, like you see streams that they'll do live streams, and you see on live streams, like every time there's a oh no, this mic isn't working, and then you'll just see a dude who you've never seen on screen before running
That's true, yeah.
across the thing, across the camera just to plug in a thing or fix a thing. So I mean, it happens to professionals. It's just like when you have an editing crew, you don't see that.
Yeah, no,
and,
absolutely.
With experience, you can get off the floor a lot better. The first 15 minutes of any live stream is usually just technical issues that they're working out.
Yeah, I guess that's true. If you watch like the Fun House is the one that we both watch, and if you watch like their shows, they just look like they go really well.
Oh, yeah.
But there's a lot of editing. But if you watch the live stream, especially on a demo disc, I think you can like really tell that Bruce Green actually really hates doing those demo disc shows because it doesn't work. And
Not just from him saying how much he hates doing them. Like,
yeah, I think like I could see like they actually would like to play. To me, it's not about the game necessarily.
no
like
way.
It's still really fun to watch.
That's not their content at all.
It's still really funny that that they like sit there and then they are trying to get old ass games to work on their new computer.
Yeah, it's the struggle is the content.
Bree bought Battle for Middle Earth. I think that's what the game's called,
I played that.
and it's Windows XP is what you need
That's
to do
probably what I played it on.
it. So she bought it online for I'm betting probably way too much, and she save. She bought it online. Okay. Was going to had every intention of like playing it on her laptop, and just realized that basically it doesn't actually work on her laptop. She could not get it to load.
Like she bought a CD for the game, or
Yeah,
like
dude,
how
it's
did
one-
like
it's one of those-
eBay kind of situation.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm
that's
pretty
weird,
sure it's
'cause
not available on like Steam or anything.
I'm sure if you looked for it, it would be. available
think
as
so?
a data file. Yeah, man. I don't think.
I mean, she bought the CDs.
Yeah, that's the problem. I bet if you
Okay.
find something.
So, it's one of those. Do you remember when you bought games? How many like discs there are? Like
Oh yeah, like I bought. So here's a quick story. So I bought a game one time for my XP. It was called Black and White, and
Oh,
yeah,
my
and
God.
it's essentially like a strategy. Like
That's a
you're
fun game.
God. See, that's the thing. I never got to play it. The game came with 6 CDs. And every time I'd go install it, my computer wasn't good enough. It needed like better graphics than what my graphic card could do at the time, but I didn't realize that. So I installed the game, and it didn't run. Like it turned on, it would boot, and then it just wouldn't run. It would crash every time it tried to go to the home screen. And then I finally, like, I'm in high school, junior high, couldn't afford an upgrade. Finally got an upgrade.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh yeah, there was that game I never got to play that I owned. And I went and I had lost one of the 6 discs.
Oh no.
Like somewhere along the way in my life, I had lost one of the discs. And that's all it takes. And
That's
it's just
depressing.
Like, yeah. And so I've literally never played that game in my life.
Okay.
But it's like one of those, it's such a dumb, like,
That
that's
sucks.
the one that got away, man.
That sucks.
Like, it's so stupid.
You can pick up people with your little hand and throw them out in the ocean.
Yeah, no, I've seen. Yeah, don't
you
don't
didn't get
tempt
to do
me.
it?
I never got to do it. Yeah, it
You
was,
didn't get to do it because you lost the disc.
yeah, and yeah, so I'm
um,
fully aware of the disc situation.
Okay. I didn't lose a disc to this game, but Diablo 2
Oh yeah.
had so many discs to play that game,
Mm-hmm.
and I played Diablo 2 probably a year longer than when it died out for the initial like huge group of like millions of people that played it.
So like,
And I think there's still people who still play Diablo 2,
Oh, for sure.
honestly. So
but so it died, and then there was an expansion that came out, and that
Oh, yeah.
revitalized it. Did you play through the expansion as
oh yeah,
well?
I
Okay,
played
okay,
like
okay.
Bale, like
Yeah.
oh yeah,
Where you'd get all the runes and shit to upgrade your gear.
Oh,
And
most
then-
definitely.
Okay, cool.
and like Stones of Jordan were like the currency,
Mhm.
and like I mean it was crazy. Yeah, I played it for a long time, like all through high school, and when you delete your character on the game, you
Mhm.
click delete, and then it asks you, "Are you sure?"
Yeah.
Obviously, and then you say yes, and then you delete it, and like in like one fell swoop, I accidentally deleted like my level 99 like Barb, like
Yeah,
like
that's the
my
one.
best character.
Damn.
And it was just like, and for whatever reason, it's like, like it asked, and I knew the process. It was like, do you want to delete it? And then yes,
And
and,
you
it
just,
might
like,
even ask you
freak
say one
yourself
more time.
out
It
so
might
much.
say like, it might say even like, are you sure? It might even be like, do you really want to delete this? Yes. Are you sure? Yes. I mean, I might even do it 3 times. I can't
Like, you
remember.
have to.
And I just for whatever
manually
in my
click.
head, it was just like one of those things where I was just like, yep, do, nah, and then I was just like. Like I deleted. I deleted. I can't believe I deleted my
How
character.
did that even
And I
happen
was just
as
like,
an accident?
I
That's
like
so
sat there and
crazy.
I'm like, oh my god, I just deleted this thing. And then like it was like one of those things where it was like a scene out of a movie where I like look
Mhm.
up and I'm like the sun's shining outside. Like.
Yeah.
And then it was just
And
like,
you're like, well, I can't go back to this thing that's dead.
and I was just like, yeah. And I'm like. I remember I called one of my friends I used to play with all the time, and I'm like, Dylan, I just deleted my Barb, so yeah, I'm not playing Diablo anymore, and I uninstalled I
Yeah.
uninstalled that game, and I was just like,
Absolutely.
well, I guess I'm done with this game. I'm not gonna start over.
So I have a similar but different story. I played World of Warcraft for a long time. Not as much
Oh,
as some
okay.
people. Don't get me wrong. Like I wasn't, but I did play. I was addicted. I guess is what that's
Yeah.
kind of like that's how MMOs go. Like I'm not saying it's like a
Well,
bad addiction,
they're-
but it's
they're addi-
definitely
They have addictive
Mhm.
like they're for addiction.
Absolutely.
I mean, they basically are meant to
I mean,
be for addiction.
you wake up and you're like, oh, I can't wait to like do the daily quest. It's
If
like
you-
nobody wants that. You know what I mean?
but they made them to be that way
Yeah.
because you constantly like have to upgrade.
Yeah,
thing.
exactly.
Like
So
it's
So here's what happened to me. This is how I quit playing, and it's like super anticlimactic, I guess. But like I was playing World of Warcraft, and then like all of a sudden I just like stood up, kind of like what you said, and I
Yeah.
looked outside, and I was like, "What am I doing?" And I didn't play anymore. Like that was the
Yeah.
last time, and it was so just like on off switch in my head somehow, and I was just like, yeah, I guess I don't play World of Warcraft anymore. And people were like,
Yeah, it's
where you
bizarre.
been? And I'm like, yeah, I just don't play now, I guess.
Yeah,
like
I just don't
didn't
do it
even like
anymore.
make a decision. It was just like
They're like,
I
hey, have
didn't
you been
log
on?
back in.
Have you been
Yeah.
on lately? No, I have not actually.
Yeah,
No.
exactly.
So
So
what have you been doing instead? Just literally anything else.
yeah. Oh, I go outside now. What? You go outside now?
Like outside?
Yeah, I've been outside.
Yeah, I've walked out there a couple times.
crazy.
And God, I am I don't know if I am a fan of the
The-
film portion of doing this. You know,
Oh, what do you
there's
mean?
got to be a more.
Oh, okay.
There's got to be a
You're
more.
back at this. Sorry, I was in.
There's got. Why do
I was in
have it up?
Fantasyland. Yeah, why are you watching
don't I
it?
have it up?
Just minimize
Okay,
this shit.
so let's talk about. Okay,
Wait, no, don't. Let's not stop. I like what we're doing. So you're deleted your Bard. I have.
no, what I was gonna say is that
Okay, go ahead.
this show,
Uh-huh.
good, I
Oh,
think is
good.
going to be the. Well, I think we'll talk a bit about gaming.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of so people who are we'll still stream here and there, but I think we'll talk about gaming. We'll have guests.
Oh, yeah.
And then it'll be fun. But it'll
I
be
like
kind of what we're
I
doing.
like the idea of it just being like a slice of life kind of thing.
Yeah, just a little slice of life.
Just kind of like, hey, this is what we do. This is what we like talking about,
Right.
and hopefully you like it too, and you can enjoy it with us. I
So
mean-
would you say World of Warcraft though is the last game that you were really that invested in though? I mean, like I'm obviously because Diablo 2 is probably the last one I had played for a really long
Mhm.
time, and I actually so I owned. Okay, so
Mhm.
I played Diablo 2, and then for a long time I didn't do anything except for just buy consoles, and then I usually buy them like kind of late.
Okay.
So I bought a PlayStation 3, I think a year before PlayStation 4 came out.
Nice.
So I
That's nuts.
bought a PlayStation 3.
I actually
and
skipped the PlayStation 3. I had a PlayStation 2, and then
okay.
I had a computer, and it just never needed to fill the PlayStation 3 gap. And then PlayStation 4 came out, and I was like, yeah, all right, and I bought that.
Yeah, okay. So I actually bought so I bought that PlayStation 3. PlayStation 4 came out, and then I was at a crossroads because my friend Jared plays a PlayStation. My sister and her husband play an Xbox, and they're like, and then my uncle, all my family is all on Xbox. But then like Jared is on PlayStation, and then I have a few other friends that I'd been playing PlayStation with.
Mm-hmm.
So they're both sides are like, dude, you gotta get this system, gotta get a system. I'm like, God, like I don't know which one to get. So I did the normal thing that people do, and I just didn't make a choice, and I got both.
That's everybody
so,
does that.
because that's a logical fucking thing to do. So I bought both, and then and I didn't. But the thing is, I still didn't even buy them. I bought the Xbox first, and when it was on a smoking deal, and then like from Costco, it was one of those things, and it was when so that Xbox is like again. It was like when the newer one is gonna come out or whatever. Like they have like the Xbox out, and then they're always like, here's the new model. It's got a sleeker fucking. It's just the same. It's literally the same machine, but
We have the
this
same
one,
graphics card.
but it's got like a few gig more of hard drive or whatever.
This one's power supplies on the outside.
Yeah, like
It's like,
new
cool.
with USB port. Like
Yeah.
what? I thought that should have been on the other one. Like nope, we didn't do it.
We
But
didn't
now
think
we
of that,
did.
and now we did. You're
Right.
welcome.
Yeah, and they're like, here, this one's got a shader that looks like it's Minecraft. Like, have fun. So, like, whatever.
That would be
So I
the
bought
worst
that one.
shader. Of all
I know.
time.
So I
mean,
bought
not
the
against
first
Minecraft,
one.
but
Okay.
it's so low tech.
Yeah, but so I bought like the old ass model, and then Micah,
Mhm.
a mutual friend of us and this show, apparently.
Friend?
Sure.
No,
He-
I'm just-
so I bought his old PlayStation 4,
That's great.
the one that his daughter broke a disc
Oh yeah,
in or
he
something.
she shoved it in
She
sideways.
like shoved the disc in there,
Yeah.
and then he, I think he posted it on like Facebook or something, or I don't know where I ran it. Maybe I don't even know how, because I knew Micah, but I wasn't like super close. But he was just like, hey, I got this PlayStation 4. I'll sell you for $100. Or
Yeah.
maybe he contacted somebody
So what?
else or something.
I
He's like,
feel like what happened is he went to the store Gameplay, and he tried to sell it there, and they were like,
oh sure.
no. And then
But then
from there,
But then
he
he's
went
like,
out like avenue.
yeah, and then I was just like, whoa, okay. And then I was just like, whoa, okay. I played Destiny 1 at the time.
Yeah.
That's it on PlayStation 3. And I was like, yeah, okay, it's $100. Like, I don't care. And I think somebody else was even like, you can even pay, like, I think you can send it to Sony or whatever, and or you can get the disc drive fixed on it for like $40. I'm like, nah, I don't care.
Yeah, like who needs a disc drive right
I'm
now?
like, I really don't care. I can just download the game. Although it has proved, sometimes it'd be nice to have the disc drive, but I really don't care.
Or a separate
But when I
hard
bought
drive.
that PlayStation 3, the reason why I was bringing it up,
Mhm.
I played Diablo 2. I did not play any games for a really long time. I had a PlayStation 2 still.
Yeah.
Didn't even really play the game. And then the reason why, so I remember I told you I bought that PlayStation 3 a year before PlayStation 4 came out.
Mhm.
And it was because I needed a Blu-ray. I needed a Blu-ray player.
Oh yeah, no.
And
And
I was like-
PlayStation makes great Blu-ray players.
And I was like, I need a Blu-ray player. And do you remember at the time? Do you remember, like, you can go get a Blu-ray player for like 30,
Like 20 bucks probably right now.
$20 now.
They'd be the ones
But you
without the
remember they were-
buttons on the front, and you have to use the remote.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, like 20
And then you
bucks
lose
for
the
a
remote and
Blu-ray.
it's worthless.
Yeah, and it's garbage now.
So
$20 paperweight.
But at the time when PlayStation 4 was coming out, Blu-ray players were still actually like $100.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I need a Blu-ray player. And then I was like, I'll just buy a PlayStation. I'll buy a PlayStation, like a PlayStation 3.
Oh, okay.
And I was like-
okay.
I was like,
No,
yeah,
yeah, but-
whatever. I need one anyways. I'm like, and I was like single at the time too, which is always like a factor. And I'm like, I think I want to play a video game. Like I haven't played a video game in a long time.
Mhm.
So I bought that PlayStation 3 on Black Friday, a year before PlayStation 4 came out. And then I played, I got GTA 5 because it had just come out basically.
You know, I was gonna say that. Isn't that crazy? Because I had the same thing where I was playing Xbox. I placed, but then I did the same tree, like pathway, fork in the road, where it's like, do I do Xbox again, get the Xbox 360 or Xbox One? I guess at that point, yeah, and then or PlayStation 4, and it ultimately came down to I had more people who played on PlayStation 4 with me, I had GTA 5 on my Xbox 360, and I
Yeah.
remember when I went and bought the PS4, it had a GTA 5 like copy with it. It was one of those
Yeah.
bundles, and that's none of that's interesting. The interesting thing is how big of a game GTA 5 is now,
I know.
and you think of it as like a game that came out before the PS4 or the
Yeah.
Xbox One came out. Like that game's old
No,
as
it's totally
fuck,
true. It's
and
an
it's
old
still
game.
like it's got like the biggest like.
It's still got a huge following.
It's crazy
and
how
a lot of people still stream it.
yeah.
So I bought GTA. Well, okay, so I bought GTA 3 or GTA 5
Mhm.
and Destiny for that PlayStation 3 that I had.
Nice.
And both of those games, when I bought a PlayStation 4, I was like, man, I really wish I still had GTA 5.
Yeah.
Destiny, I actually went and paid the money on the new PlayStation to get again to play, because Bree and I just started dating, and so I was like, hey, you're gonna play this game? It's pretty fun, Destiny. And then I ended up getting GTA 5 for the Xbox instead, because I kind of refused at first to buy it again. So I was like, I just bought it, it was a year ago or whatever, and it was $60. But then I was like, I got the Xbox, and I saw it at Gameplay for $25.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, oh yeah, I'm getting
Yeah,
this.
that's
And then now I look back at even like buying it for $25, and I'm like, you know what? I should have given that more credit anyways, and I should have just bought it for full price, even if I didn't have it, because that game, even if you buy GTA 5 twice, you've more than gotten what you need out of it.
So I'm a pretty big what's it? I'm a pretty big follower of the $1 an hour for a game.
Yeah.
Like if you can play a game, if you buy a $60 game but you play it for $80, you just made $20. You just made $20 worth of game, and GTA 5 is definitely one of those. Like you get way more money out of it.
People bitch.
But you can buy currency in that game, and that gets kind of crazy. So I'm like, if you think of games like that, microtransactions, or even like, I guess if they're not technically, whatever, buying cash in games, I guess it's still microtransactions. But like a good example, like a really good example of that is a League of Legends.
Oh yeah.
If you know anybody who does that, really, like
Bree played League.
to answer your question, actually, League of Legends is the game that I've been
Bree
into
plays
more
League, or
than
she
World of
had.
Warcraft since I stopped playing World of Warcraft. I don't play
I
League
actually
anymore
feel, it's
either.
really funny. League is a great.
Mhm.
That's one of those games that's like a great single person game. Or if you date somebody that also plays it. Bree, it's funny. Bree bought a brand new laptop, like a
Mhm.
gaming laptop, like really, really close to when we, like to right before we started dating. And she
Mhm.
was single, so she was like, "I'm gonna put in some time on this
Yeah.
game." And then we started dating, and she's maybe fired that game out 2 times.
That's yeah.
And that's just, that's how that works though. That's like the lay of the land. You start like dating somebody and your time becomes very different.
Yeah.
Does your significant other play video games?
So yeah, like we play games together.
What
Like
do you guys play together?
so, it's kind of tough to figure out. A game that we really so we play games differently. So it's kind of hard for us to mesh that way. So we have to find games where it kind of like, because I'm the kind of guy, like I have a Diablo, World of Warcraft background. Like we actually played World of Warcraft together for a really long time before we started
Sure.
dating. She
Oh,
actually
okay.
she actually like ran my character up to level 80 with me, and this
Oh,
was
okay.
before we even ever started dating. Like she had a
Oh.
boyfriend, and we were just online hanging out.
Just playing
And
games.
yeah, it wasn't anything romantic. And then like a couple years later, we stopped talking. We like, met up again, and yeah,
Nice, okay.
history. But like that kind of game where there's either like a limiter on how fast one person can go ahead of another person, or like a game that will like kind of keep you guys together, like keep two people together, sort of thing, are really good for us. So examples. Like we played Divinity Original Sin 2 because like it's kind of hard for a person. I mean, you could run away, but like it's kind of hard to like get super far. And if you do, all you have to do is like warp back to a whatever,
okay,
and then
okay.
you're like, "Hey, I'm here now. What are we doing?" We play the new Stardew Valley. Just got a beta where you can do multiplayer Stardew Valley now, and if you're into that kind of thing,
What is it?
so
exactly?
Stardew Valley is essentially like Farm Builder 2.0 kind of thing, where you're
Okay.
controlling. The premise, I guess, of the game is you inherit a farm from like a dead relative, and I guess that's how you inherit things. And
Are you just playing a farm simulator?
it's essentially a farm simulator. Yeah, you like buy seeds, seasons go by, but there's added things. So like there's NPCs in the game that you can like talk to and like actually like build relationships with. You can marry people, you can have kids. And then there's like a fighting, like there's a monster aspect in the game. And
Okay.
I'm not saying it's like the number one game, but like if you're into that kind of thing where you just want to like sit down for an hour and play like and you want to build your crops, like it's a really good game for that. And she's that kind of person who will like it's detail oriented, where you can
Okay.
like she's like, here's where my corn's gonna be, here's where my like
It's the
barley's
same-
gonna be,
I mean,
and it's gonna
essentially
look really good every time. And I'm the kind of person who's like, fuck the crops, I don't want to deal with this shit, I'm gonna go fight some monsters in the cave, and, and then
Okay.
all my crops would die because I didn't give a fuck about them yesterday.
there
like-
are monsters in the game. And
Yeah,
stuff
you
still?
can go fight. It's a lot like Terraria. I'm not gonna, but like it's like top down, swing it, like swing a sword,
Oh,
kind of
okay.
Terraria style fighting, but not the same.
Okay. I'll have to check it out. What's it called again?
It's called Stardew Valley,
Okay.
and
There was that game that
you
came
have
out
to
that
install
was.
the beta. I think still.
Okay.
I don't think it's fully updated yet, but
Do you remember that game came out that was supposed to be kind of like Terraria, but it's like in space?
yeah, no,
Starbound, maybe?
Starbound. That
Yeah.
sounds familiar.
I
don't know
heard
if that's
it
or
was
not.
supposed to be kind of like it. Like it was supposed to be. I remember it was kind of supposed to be like the next big thing in it. I don't think it really caught on.
So I saw a really cool looking game that's still in like, I'm sure it's still in alpha, but it's kind of like that where you drive a spaceship like into a planet or whatever, and you just kind of like beat up the planet for materials, and then you can build like a space station and shit like that. It was a pretty cool looking game. But that was on Reddit, and I was like literally like, hey, check out this like concept art for this, you know what I mean? That
Yeah.
kind of like,
Wasn't that kind of like the way? Even like that was the thing that was like irritating to me about the new Elder Scrolls or whatever.
like Elder Scrolls 6,
Skyrim, or
yeah, whatever it's called,
the
like
new thing. But it was like
they're like, here's a picture of
and
our
people
game that
were
we're
like-
working
and
on.
like, yeah, and I was just like, shut
Well, that's
up.
that's better than like coming up with concept. Like it's not even concept art part. They're literally like, hey guys, this is gonna happen. Like I
And
think
they're
it's
like,
I think it was a better
yeah,
thing than
that's
actually
true.
like putting out like those bullshit where it's like this is in-game
Oh.
footage and it's
Well,
like
what
no
is
it's
that
not.
one-
Like
what's
maybe
that
that one
space
cutscene. Yeah.
What's that stupid
fucking,
space game?
Oh man.
Everybody wanted to play it.
I bought
I
it.
wanted to play it.
I did buy it.
It's a survival game, though,
Jesus.
ultimately. It's not. What's it called? No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky, yeah. So I bought that game pre-release, which don't ever do that ever.
I was so-
like, who cares?
I didn't even play it because
so I
I
played
was
it-
lucky enough to be one of those assholes that buys things
Yeah,
way too late.
So me and my friend bought it. Like
Okay.
me and my buddy, we lived together at the time. Our computers were like set up across the living room for each other, and we bought it under the guise of we're gonna fucking meet up and do the thing that everyone wanted to do the first day it came out. We're gonna meet up on this planet and blah blah blah. Well, like I played for like 2 hours and he played while I was playing.
Okay.
We didn't see a single other person because there wasn't any other people. And
Oh, yeah.
and then we started like getting suspicious and we Googled it and it's like no, there's no like inner personal mingling.
I couldn't believe they did. I could not believe they actually ended up making it. Ends up being a one-player game.
Yeah. So
That took away everything that everybody wanted to do.
yeah.
I mean, do you remember how they like even at like E3 or whatever when they're just like yeah, you can see see other people on there, but it could be it'll be like pretty rare though, because it's a
It's a pretty big game.
it's a really big game, so it'll be really rare. I was like, do you
Yeah.
really think like someone's gonna play it for like 70 hours and be like, man, this game is really big.
Wow, this is
I
real
can't believe-
sparse. I haven't seen a single
I
person.
haven't seen a single soul in this game.
So,
This is pretty big.
in
You know
that-
what? This game's pretty big.
This
like,
game's huge.
like, shut
So
up.
in
There's
that
no
game's credit, though, I
Okay.
heard there's a lot of like updates now, and it's more like what they promised it would be now.
way. Oh, okay.
Like nobody's gonna go back and play it,
no,
but
it's
the
too
people
bad.
who like stuck it out, I guess, are pretty happy with it at this point.
Do you think? So do you spoil stuff for yourself? Like sometimes.
No, I hate
You
I like
don't do it.
I hate spoilers, which is like it's stupid. It's a stupid thing because like I'll hate spoilers on shit I'll never see. Like I never like I'm not a horror guy, not a big horror
Yeah.
movie guy. But
Right.
like if anyone's like, oh, at the end of that, and I'm like, why the fuck would you tell? And it's like I'm never gonna watch that movie.
Yeah.
Like so I've had to
So
recently.
I spoil stuff.
Yeah, like I've had to recently like go back to where I'm like, I don't care. You know what I mean? Like I don't care if I know the
Yeah.
end of that. So like I'm getting better at it. But like I used to like a couple years ago, I was just like la 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 la, that kind of guy.
Okay, so I spoiled the end of No Man's Sky because I was
Uh-huh.
obviously since I'm one of the people that waits till buy a game,
Mhm.
and then obviously that game I waited to buy it, and then it had terrible reviews,
Yeah.
and then I didn't buy it. So I was like, well, I guess like I wonder how many I wonder how many people got to the ending, like because the ending's supposed to be like
Yeah,
almost
like,
impossible to get to
forever
or
away.
whatever. And then I watched it, and did you watch it? Have you seen it?
I've heard of it. I haven't watched it.
So
go
basically,
ahead.
it's just like a music video.
Oh,
it's
really?
like it's just like a like
It's
you
like,
get to it, and it's just like and then your ship like
congratulations, you
yeah,
made it
just
to the
keeps
middle.
like flying, and then like looks like Star Fox basically, and then like has music like techno music, and then it's just
Yeah.
like good. I swear to God, I wish I would It would have been cool if they would have done this if just like some 8-bit words came up and like you win, like
It's
who
like,
gives
good
it?
job.
Because it
Like-
literally is just like it's so dumb. It's just like unfortunately, it's not good.
Yeah.
So we played when Bree and I first started dating. Like I
Mhm.
said, I got that PlayStation 4. She already had a PlayStation 4.
Nice. Good on her.
So I was like, "Hey, let's play Destiny." Like I already had played it on PlayStation 3, and I had it on Xbox One because I was playing with my sister and her husband, playing some Destiny. And I'm like, "Hey, let's get it on PlayStation 4 and do Destiny 1."
Yeah.
And that was knowing that Destiny 2 was going to be coming out, like they'd already announced it.
Mhm.
So I was like, let's get into this. It'll be fun. And so we both started playing the game, and then like got super into it. and then bought, like, we went through, like, the whole thing. First off, we figured out how to do the whole, like, PlayStation sharing
joint
thing.
account
So
situation.
she didn't have, I had already owned Destiny, you know, and she didn't have it. So then we, like, you know, like, made hers, like, the primary or whatever. That's actually, by the way, that's a lot harder than it should be.
Mhm.
Like, doing the whole game sharing and stuff
What-
between
well,
two different things.
I think they fixed it.
Did they?
Unless it's Xbox. I think I might be thinking of Xbox.
Xbox is a little easier, but like PlayStation's is like literally like I like log into hers and like make her PlayStation my primary console,
but
or
not the one where where your games are stored on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's the whole thing.
Serious pain in the ass. And every time I have to do it, like every time I buy a new game or whatever, and if you like, she'll want the game, I have to Google it every fucking time. It is
just to make sure.
Yeah.
So essentially, what it is if your primary account has like a game downloaded on it, but it's not the one that was originally downloaded to it, then you can still play that game on it because it's your primary account. So if you make hers your primary, but download all the games to yours,
yeah, so
you can play it on hers.
So there is
free,
that too. So man, I always had,
you can
I had to
share it.
I had to make sure I told her, like, you know, like every single time she was like, if she thinks about buying a game, I'm like, you have to buy it on mine, so that we can both get it.
Exactly.
If I want the game, you know, if it's something that I don't want to play, obviously do what you want to do. But you know, but like, so I'm like, you got to make sure, you know. And then we did the vice versa. So, okay, so we played Destiny, and the Destiny 2 came out, right? And actually, it's still fun. And kind of to your thing with like the $1 an hour thing, there are definitely things that are issues with it. But I find, like, because Bree and I are weekend warriors, we can only really play games on the weekend.
Weekend.
Because she works so early in the mornings during the week that, like, we won't even attempt to play a video game, because it's one of those things where even though I'm 33, I will lose track of time like a child. Like you know, like you're playing a game and then you look at the thing and it's like, oh my god, I haven't slept. I haven't been to sleep, and it's you know, it's 2 a.m.
So
I have to work at 6.
You're talking about that like it's a bad thing. That's like my favorite thing is like just like blinking and you're like, oh god, I played this game for 8 hours today. Like
no.
Like,
I think it's fine.
It
but,
sucks
but
as
you
like
can't do it during the week.
I
when
just
you're
spent
working,
8 hours of my life doing nothing. Like that's shitty. But at the like same time, it's like I was so into something that it didn't even feel like any time passed.
I think it's great too. I just mean that we don't do it during the week.
Yeah, no, I get you.
Because Jesus, we gotta actually like do.
You have a
stuff.
life.
We
That's
have to
weird.
do things. So, and I don't want like I don't want my house to get really dirty because we didn't like, you know, do something for Monday through Thursday or whatever because we just played video games.
I understand, man. Yeah.
So anyway,
it makes sense.
So like when you play Destiny 2 like that though, and you're only playing on the weekends, we didn't get tired of it for pretty long. I mean, really.
Yeah, I remember you guys were like still playing.
We were still playing, and everybody was like complaining about it on Reddit, and I mean, I was like reading the complaints. I'm like, yeah, these are kind of annoying, but
like if you're not only touching on it, it's not a big deal.
I mean, you get on there, and then you go run all those, go run all the stuff that everybody had already done on Tuesday, and you're doing on Saturday, and
So
it takes like all day, and then you get done, and then like Sunday you play a little bit, and they go do some Crucible, and you're like, man, that was a pretty fun game.
Yeah. So for people who might not know, like essentially Destiny 2, the difference is like the unlockable stuff like that is so much more easy to get in Destiny 2 than it was in Destiny 1. Like Destiny 1 sure is a grind and that's the point, but people who like grinding grind, but like in Destiny 2 they would just give you, it's like, oh, here's another like exotic, here's another exotic, here's another exotic. And that's where like people really started to complain is like, what's even the point? Like now I'm only putting in my daily grind and it's like, oh, I played for 2 hours, I got my I got my thing and I'm leaving. So it makes sense if you're playing 1-2 hours or even like 6 hours a week rather than like 90 hours.
It's like they made like they made the game to be played like how
recreationally
we were playing.
Instead
but
of
I still finally after a while, even after a while of playing like that, it actually did finally start getting old because we're like, well, I guess we're gonna do this again. I
guess I gotta go do this mission again.
So like it does get old, but like obviously it stayed its course longer for us just because but the storyline was still stupid. And it was still, it was still frustratingly stupid. Like,
well,
you'd
I
be like,
mean,
this is dumb.
Destiny 2's always had a
Destiny
or
1 has
Destiny, not Destiny 2. Destiny has always had a like
If
bad.
if you held a gun to my head and
asked what
told
the
me
plot.
to tell you the plot to the first Destiny game, you'd have to kill me.
Yeah,
I could not.
I could string together some facts that I know,
I don't
but I
understand
wouldn't make it make sense.
any of it. It doesn't
Yeah.
make any, and I don't think they had any intention of ever making it make
and
sense.
I'd start out with, well, Peter Dinklage. Oh wait,
Right. Yeah. And then I think they were seriously like, let's make this like vague, ambiguous game.
Yeah.
It was Bungie. That's the part that's like Halo has like such
It
a
has
story.
a story, but it's not like if you watch Halo 1.
Halo
if you
1
go
has
to
a
Halo
good story.
1, I mean, okay, yeah, whatever, but it's still just like you're a space marine, go do space marine stuff. Like
Yeah.
instead of that, it's like, hey, you're a traveler. No, you're not the traveler. You're a guardian.
You're a guardian.
Go do guardian stuff. I mean, like,
And then there's the light. And then they're kind of like, they're kind of like lazy where they're like, who should
I
the
guess
bad
I'm
guy
wrong.
be?
I feel like I'm wrong
They're
about
like,
that.
they're like, who should the bad guy be? And they're like, the darkness. And they're like, who's the good guy? And they're like, the light.
The light.
And they're like, oh, well, how did they get the light? And they're like, a traveler. And they're like, where's he from? And they're like, oh.
But how do you know the power level? It's the light level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what are you gonna do? We're gonna guard
We're
it.
gonna get more
And
light.
I'm like, oh, well, what are you?
The
Guardian.
Guardians.
And you're like, that seems dumb. And they're like, yup, do a game.
What's the traveler do? Ironically, he just kind of sits there and doesn't do anything.
And you're like, well,
He traveled here,
like,
but
they're
then
like-
he stopped.
yeah. And they're like, well, what can you do on the game then? And then you're like, well, not really anything. And you're like, are people gonna play this? And they're like, well, yeah, because you can buy this glimmer and for the hopes of getting a shader that might make you have a funny dance from Arrested Development.
Yeah.
And then you know what we'll do is we'll sell these random packs that might give you the dance, that which would just be really easy,
yeah.
or we'll give you a bunch of other useless shit that you can break down for like the dust to do to buy the glimmer, to do the thing, to buy the dance, to then and they're like, well,
or
what's
we'll give you one a level.
And they're
Oh,
like-
how often do we level? Once every 4 days. Like, fucking, like, oh, okay.
And they're like, and that's oh, this is interesting. And then and they're like, so so what's the point of the game? And they're like, we're gonna make a lot of money on stupid people.
That's the point. Yeah, the point is we make money. People play the game.
Because Bree and I guiltily.
Mhm.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like the whole like, okay, so like they put this stuff in those games and you could buy them. Like in GTA 5, I'll admit it, I bought money in GTA 5 online.
I mean, you wanted to have fun, right? That's like the
Yeah.
only way to do that
What
on
does
GTA 5.
Funhouse say? They're like, if you have like $1,000, GTA is pretty fun.
Yeah, that's essentially how that works. So I played GTA 5. I found out, like I think I said earlier, like I played GTA 5. I played the whole story. It was an awesome game. Play the story of GTA 5 if you haven't. Like, that's amazing.
I absolutely play it. It's a blast.
There's no point in not killing Trevor. Like, spoiler alert. But
He's the worst.
yeah, like don't save Trevor. Nobody's gonna fault you for that.
No, no one's gonna be like, oh, you should have
Is
done
it a
that.
spoiler alert if it's like a 9-year-old game now? But
Yeah, shot.
yeah.
No.
So anyways, but then like I was like, this game's awesome. I'm gonna start an online account. Did that. I got in and I immediately, like, this is not a joke. Like, this isn't exaggeration. Got in, died. Like, somebody just ran me over. They know where you spawn. You like spawn outside this gas station every time. I don't know if it's still true, but you spawn outside this gas station and there were just people hanging out there.
And they play all the time.
Yeah.
Like, they're good at this game.
And you're like, oh, okay, cool. And then you have to put on passive mode in order to get anywhere. And then you're like, oh, I'm gonna go try to make money. And it's like the only way to make money in the very beginning of that thing is like either just do like dumb races with people who are like 100 levels ahead of you, or like rob convenience stores, I guess. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, but you can only but then you're trying to rob a convenience store, which is I think robbing the convenience stores is really hard. Actually, I haven't done very many successful ones, but I'm also admittedly not good at gaming. So, but when you rob convenience stores in that game, then you also have the other players in the game who are sniping you as you're doing it.
Exactly.
So it's hard.
Yeah, so essentially it's like get a private server like with some friends, like because you can't.
That's
just,
what I do.
You can't just like open a server and play out by yourself on a server online. You have to have a group in order for your whole group to do an online session. Yeah. And then from there, it's just a whole like you know. I mean, I'm sure they fixed it 9 years.
But it's it is a pain in the ass.
Yeah, and without just like or you can do all that, or you get $100, you get like $1 million. It's like or not 100. I don't know. Like $20. Yeah, you get $1 million.
I think I bought $1 million for $20 because you know what it ended up being is I wanted a garage, like the apartment, like the skyscraper apartment or whatever, and I was like, oh, how much is that? I'm like, oh man, I'm never gonna get that much money in this game. And then it was just like, you know, and then that was the first. Honestly, and truthfully, that might be the first time I ever bought a currency in a game ever.
Oh really?
But I was just like,
I'm like,
what? I'm like, oh well, I guess this is how I play games. And then I just kind of realized maybe those games are set up like you shouldn't spend all your money on playing those games and like doing that. However, if you are a weekend warrior, though, and you really don't play games that often, but you want to have fun on them, like, why not give people the ability to just buy whatever they want and just do whatever they want? I
agree.
Like who cares? Like, and I know.
So I have that same thing. It's still $1 an hour. Like, so like I said, I played League of Legends a bunch. And I went for a really long time playing League of Legends. I'm pretty frugal, especially when it comes to buying things on games. I've always been kind of like, oh, what the hell?
League's free, isn't it?
So that's the thing. League's free, but you can buy characters. You can buy skins, which I never do that. But I mean like. You can buy characters, you can buy like stuff like that, rune pages, shit, whatever, a bunch of different little stuff. But I got to the point I was playing League so much that like $50, it's like I've made that worth it like 6-7 times over to throw $50 at the game, like in hours, you know what I mean? Like
right, yeah.
And so the game was free, so that's like a $60 game to begin with. Like sure, I'll throw $50 at it, but then like once you say it's okay in your head, that's when the downhill slope comes because I've spent more than $50 in that game.
As soon as you start justifying it,
yeah, exactly.
You're like, uh-oh.
Yeah, and you're like, oh no, like now it's to the point where I need to actually like pay attention to like what you spend. So I think it's like, for me especially, like it's like I'm good at saying no, but like once I justify it and say yes once, it's like all right, just do it every time.
Okay, so Bree and I will sit here and play a game, and I'll like look over at her screen and notice that she's in the like online store, you know, like,
that's really funny.
I'm like, oh, what are you doing on there, you know? And she'll be like, oh no, and she instantly is just like guilt, like, and I'm not trying to like make her feel guilty, but because I do the same shit.
Yeah.
I do the same stupid. So like, if we played Ghost Recon Wildlands yesterday together and remember I told you when we were streaming a while back, I'm like, I haven't had any time to play any games for fun. Mm-hmm. But for whatever reason we got like wild hair, and I'm like, well, we're gonna play and not stream. Like we're just gonna play.
Yeah.
And it was fun.
Yeah. It's a fun game, especially if you have somebody to play with.
Well, that was one of those
It's real
games.
bad solo. I'm not bad. I don't know. Like I had fun solo, but it's so much more fun when you have somebody.
Well, so I bought the game. That was one of those games I bought a little later. Mm-hmm. I mean, maybe a couple months after it came out.
I mean, that game kind of went down like right after it came out. It was huge. Like I think the most popular that game was like 4 months before it came out. Everyone was like, "Have you heard of this game? Like it's amazing."
Yeah.
And then like it came out, and everyone's like, "Yeah, I guess it came out last week." Like whatever. Like people didn't care anymore.
Yeah,
it's
and
weird,
it's bizarre.
The hype, man.
So I got the game to play with my sister and her husband, and then they just were automatically not playing it again.
Yeah,
like automatically.
Which is weird because like you said, it's not a bad.
But
game.
No, it's
just kind of repetitive, and
it's a little repetitive.
I especially love like what's it? The not Fallout, but the other one.
Skyrim?
No. I know. It's not called Fallout. It's the one where you're like. It's kind of like Just Cause, that kind of game. Anyway.
Saints Row.
No, that's more GTA. Anyways, like the style game where you go and attack a point, and then it's like you control that point now. But it's like first person shooter.
Division?
No, the fifth one just came out, and you're like in Montana, and there's a cult.
Far Cry.
Far Cry, not Fallout.
No,
Far
we
Cry.
got there.
I was close.
We got there.
Okay, so that kind of game I'm super into. Like I'll try to like 100% that type of game.
Sure.
And every
That
time
new
it's
one
literally
looks
just
great,
like
too.
that
I've
new
not
one
played
looks
it yet.
so. I haven't played it either, but
No,
it looks so
you know what?
glitchy. Like all the shit
Oh,
is
it
just like
does,
it's
yeah.
so funny looking.
But
But let me get through this real quick.
Okay,
So
okay.
that's the kind of game I'll like to play over and over. Like not over and over again, but like to try to get 100%
Yes.
on. Where I'm like, I'm gonna go attack this base, and then I'm gonna go attack this base exactly
Play
like I
it
attacked
through.
that base, and then I'm gonna do that again. But
Yeah.
then when Ghost Wildlands came out, it's that type of. That's the same game. But like I was just like, oh, this is boring, and I don't know why. Like I
Yeah?
don't know the difference. Like
That's
it's the
interesting.
same kind of game, and same
It
thing
really
with Just
is,
Cause
though, yeah.
3. I did the same thing where I'm like, oh, this is my kind of game. Where I'm like, I'm gonna try to 100% this, and then like I played like 5. I got like 5 bases done, and I'm like, oh, I just did this 5 times. Like I guess that's the game, and it's so weird. I don't
Yeah, it
know
is
how
interesting.
I don't know how Far Cry did it to like hook me, but like, yeah, I like 100% in Far Cry 4.
Well, okay, so first thing to add to what you're saying,
Mhm.
the Far Cry games have, all of them have pretty awesome storylines.
Yeah, true.
Just Cause is I've only played Just Cause 2
Uh-huh.
and I like the characters and stuff, but I mean like honestly
Rico,
like like I like the storyline could
Yeah.
it could take it or leave it.
The
The
whole thing
storyline
is the
for-
hook, like the grappling hook.
Yeah,
And
like,
it's the most amazing
gameplay's
thing.
the best
Like, and
part
it's
on-
they know it too, because the grappling hook's in the like Just Cause 3, like the logo. Like
Yeah.
there's a grappling
Oh,
hook
yeah.
in the logo, and it's like they know what their thing is. They know
Well, I
their.
also think like Just Cause 3, because I did play a little bit of
Mm-hmm.
it. I didn't buy it, but I played a little bit of it. And one thing I did love about that they, especially from the previews and stuff, is they're just like they, without saying it, they might as well said like, hey, and you know those really messed up, not done on purpose game mechanics that you love from Just Cause 2? They're
got
back.
those back.
Yeah. But like they didn't say it,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
yeah.
But they're like, hey, like you know how our game mechanics are like pretty hilariously broken in Just Cause 2? Like cuz they
Yeah.
are. They
Oh,
really
I'm
are.
sure,
Like
yeah.
the game mechanics are like I don't know what they did, but honestly the developers for Just Cause 2, they did something seriously special. Because
Yeah.
they did you can do some like historically hilarious things in that game.
Was it Square Enix still? Because that's who does.
I think it is.
That's who does the third one. I don't know if that's doing the because the fourth one just got announced in E3. Did you know that?
No,
Just
I did
Cause
not know
4?
that. No.
Yeah, it just got announced. Same
And you know
thing.
it's gonna, and I've seen a lot of just gameplay from Just Cause
Uh-huh.
3, and it's still hilarious.
It's so funny. Like that's the GTA 5, like that kind of game. Just Cause. If Just Cause was multiplayer, which I fucking hope it is for 4, it would be like the best
If you
stream
can
video, like the
grappling
best
hook
stream.
people
If you
and
can
stuff.
grappling hook like your friend and hook your friend to a fucking like a VW bus that you just attach 6 rockets to
Oh.
and send it off a fucking bridge, like that would be like.
that game would get game of the
It's,
year.
and like it would
it's
it would be
contender.
streaming on every channel. Like,
Oh yeah,
but
you almost want to think that that's what they're gonna do because that's like what else can you do like this,
yeah. That was kind of like the theme
Give
for
everybody-
E3 this year was like, hey, we made everything multiplayer.
Well, because
Like-
is it Fallout 76 gonna be
Fallout 76
multiplayer?
they said it was kind of ambiguous, and I don't know if anything else has been released, but they said essentially like, hey, like there's not going to be NPCs in this game. It's just going to be all player based. Like it's all just going to be people, and it's like that seems kind of crazy for especially a Fallout game, which is known for its like story and dialogue, like yet being able to
Yeah.
like being able to, it's essentially like Mass Effect where you can choose your whole path through the
Yeah.
thing. But like so in order like to do that so hardcore, like a Skyrim game where it's like you don't care. Like I don't give a shit of what somebody has to say to me in Skyrim. I'm just gonna fucking go kill a dragon.
Oh yeah.
Like yeah, I don't give. Like there, I'm
Have
not
you
saying
seen- have you
everybody. Like
seen,
there's
like, the
people who care
meme-
about the story.
Have you seen
But-
like the meme, the Skyrim meme, where it's like a picture of like the character from Skyrim, and then he has like the best armor in the game, and like it's like max or like
Yeah.
almost max level or whatever,
Uh-huh.
and then it's like all right, like been playing this game for like 6 months. Maybe I should just do the regular storyline now. Like,
Yeah.
it's just like you've done like all of this stuff. and,
Yeah,
like,
well, that's exactly how it goes.
Yeah.
You play one mission, and then it's like, all right, oh, hey, look at this. Oh, hey, look
Yeah,
at that.
yeah.
And you're like, oh, fuck, I've been doing this. Like, what's the original mission? And then you go back, and then, like, you cross this, like, bridge for a mission, and, like, this one dude's like, hey, I'm going to kick your ass. And you're just like, I'm level 80, man. Like, what the fuck you doing?
So maybe what it is with Ghost Recon. Okay, so from what we've been playing, like, it is fun, and it's fun to go do this stuff in the game. But the storyline is definitely like I just don't give a shit about like any of the stuff that's happening in it.
Because I did care, like I was actually invested in Fallout 4, Far Cry 4.
So I guess like some of the I guess like it's like I love it that they added the vehicles and stuff. I think a lot of people who played it really liked the Division, and then basically saw Ghost Recon and were like, oh hey,
it's the Division.
You could drive a vehicle,
but open world. It's open,
right.
And that's what drew me to it.
Yeah.
Open world Division. So, by the way, but like side note, the Division 2 just got announced.
I know.
As well. Which
can we talk a little bit about that?
We can absolutely do that. But let me. I'm so excited because I played the Division.
I love the first one
so much.
So did I.
Until it broke. It literally was like one of those things where you're like, I love this so much, and then it just starts crumbling apart in your hands, and you're like, no, like don't leave me.
It's like the ad for God of War where his like kid turns to ash, and it's like Ellie Goulding's
but
music
I loved
playing,
you.
And it's like,
yeah, and that's how much I love the Division. Yeah. So,
and that game is so. I will say I love the Division because it is a goddamn challenge. That game is so.
Oh
hard.
my god! And it's just like fun. Like it's one of those games where you're like, oh, I died for the 75th time. Let's go in for 76.
Like, well, time to go do it again, and like try to see how I could do better.
Exactly.
I guess, and
like I bet this time I can go left.
Oh, okay. So, Ghost Recon. It's really easy you could kill anyone in the game.
Yeah.
So like, one of the things with like the Division that I was always like, I don't know, and you could take it or leave it either way. But like the Division is like, if you shoot a dude in the face, I don't give a shit what his shield is. If you shoot a dude in the middle of his face with no helmet on,
if he's not wearing
that guy should die. Like that's a realistic thing. A lot of people
had a problem with that with the Division and Destiny, same thing. Like,
but they're like wearing but they're
that's
like
a type of game.
But they're like, oh, he's got a shield, and it's like I was like, I don't give a shit like what he's got. If you shoot him if you want your game to be like pretty realistic, well, okay, so
especially with a Tom Clancy tag on it, who's like known for Rainbow Six, one shot you're dead.
But like, then have to take down his shield and then take down his like.
So that was a big thing.
That said, though, that is very annoying, right? And I as I played the Division, I was one of those people who I'm like bitching about it and yelling at my TV, and being like, that's bullshit, and like, but then still doing it again, I'm like grinding.
I'll kill him this time.
So that said, I've put in so many hours into the Division, like a lot. Ghost Recon Wildlands took care of that because you can one-hit kill just about anybody in that game. Guess what? Fucking boring. It's a boring game.
Yeah, like, well, okay.
And you're like, oh, I guess that kind of makes sense because when you're rolling up on like a million dudes, which there are because it's open world, right? And like there's, you're interactive or whatever. But then you see the dude you're supposed to kill, and you can like from across the freaking compound snipe his face, and you're like, and then it's like mission accomplished, and then it's like, oh, I gotta get out of here, and then it's just like.
And if the AI isn't up to the challenge, then there's no game there.
Right.
Because you can snipe somebody from across the compound, and then they'll just be like, whose footsteps are these? And then and then you're like completely out of the fucking and they don't even care anymore. And it's like, well, so that takes you out of the game because like nobody would just be like, oh I guess my friend's dead now, and then they search. Sure, like there's some definitely times where they will come and find you, but like most of the time they'll look around and then they'll just be like. Like who cares? And it's like that's just a game mechanic right now.
Right, yeah.
And I'm sure I'm sure we'd be bitching just as much about it if it was like real world, like they will literally like call the dogs and search you down.
Oh yeah.
Like that would be a fucking annoying game
That'd
mechanic.
Be horrible.
Also, yeah, like there's times when you're playing GTA 5 and you're like, fucking go away, cops. You know what I mean?
I know you almost get hidden.
It's definitely a two-sided.
You like almost get hidden and then you see another cop like come up from out of nowhere, and you're
in
like,
a circle, and you're just like sweating. You're like, no, 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 no,
yeah.
no.
And then you're like, no, they're not gonna see me.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's like ready. You're like, oh god damn it.
I'm just trying to fucking deliver my car. Yeah, that kind of shit.
But I mean, like, so I think that's it, though. I think
there's definitely a balance that
if they could take the two. I mean, we've seen the gameplay for like a little bit of the gameplay for the new Division, and it looks a little more open world, like a little bit like Ghost Recon.
I actually didn't really pay that much attention to it. I just kind of saw the announcement and got excited, and so yeah, go on.
So, oh god, one of the things that is a little irritating about the trailer though that I watched is it's a gameplay trailer where they're like, I think it was 4 people, which is pretty cool. Like they're going on a thing, you know, but that stupid, I don't know why trailers still do this because no one's buying into it. That stupid pretend fake script written game chatter that they use in preview, like gameplay, like where it's supposed to be 4 people who are like, you know, using their headsets and talking to each other, but it's very obviously like just not real. And
really?
they're like,
I don't know, like I said,
and they're like, you know, they'll be like, okay, everyone, let's move out. Like that's them. Like it's supposed to be the people playing the game.
The players are, and so like, come on, you fuckers, you're slow.
Yeah,
you're
it's
slow.
obviously not. And then she's like, oh yeah, hold on, I gotta add this suppressor to my rifle. Yeah. Okay. Everyone, let's move out. And you're like, oh, fuck off. That's not real. I think even some point in the trailer, they're like, hey, there's someone on your 6. Like, oh, shut up. That's not fucking real. Like, quit. But, you know, like, they're not the only ones guilty of it.
Oh, man.
And for whatever reason, that just makes me, like, I'm obviously still going to play the game.
Yeah. Well,
but
until it's broken in my hands.
Here's an idea.
And I cry.
Why not just show the preview for the, like, show what it looks like and show them doing it with just no one talking.
Or, like, because you're a fucking game developer for an exciting new game coming out, there's literally thousands of people to just choose from in the pool of YouTube.
Oh,
to be like, you 5 people come play my game, or 4 people come play my game.
Yeah.
And just like, don't curse. Like that's the that's the one regulation. And then like, we'll let you play for an hour. We'll take a 25-second clip of like the hour of you guys playing that we like the most. And it'll be a genuine gameplay from people who people know. And it's like,
and you don't have to write like stupid, poorly written crap.
And then those fucking 4 people will tell everybody that watch that. Like that's just
now that I've gotten OBS on the computer, next show I gotta mess around with it because you can do overlays.
Okay.
But next show, I'll be able to have a picture-in-picture where we can watch like that preview. We can actually watch that. And
that's pretty cool.
Kind of do reactions and stuff. I just haven't set everything up yet.
Nice.
But
I've never watched a reaction video.
I think on
that's actually, I'm serious. I fucking hate that.
Well, no, we're not going to react.
So cool.
We're not going to like. We'll watch it so you can see what I'm talking about.
It'll just be like we'll watch the trailer and then at the end of it we'll just like, oh, good.
Yeah. Well, actually, so it's mostly for the sake of doing the show because it's not a reaction video.
God.
For the sake of the show, it's actually more so people can see what the hell we're talking
about. That's fair. Yeah. But I mean, go look at it. You're on YouTube.
Go pause this video, go watch it.
So here's a tip: middle mouse button, the YouTube, it'll open a new tab automatically, and you're on YouTube, and you'll still hear our beautiful voices on the other tab.
Yeah, there you go. We are at an hour though, and this has been fun.
Yeah, I had a good time.
Do you think that on the Division and do you think if they did like a combo, like really did like a combo of like how Ghost, like if they could take the good from Ghostland or from Ghost Recon, Wildlands, and the good parts of
the Division?
Because a lot of people really complained about the Division, but I thought it was a lot of fun.
So I think the thing, like the biggest thing, is Division's not Tom Clancy.
Yeah, it is.
It is. Okay. It is. I remember because it was a weird thing. Because it wasn't actually a story of the Division.
Yeah, what was? Because I mean,
you mean like why did people stop playing it?
No, I
or
mean
what was the biggest initial complaint?
Well, because there's always like, there's the people. It's amazing because it'll have like a billion people playing it or whatever, But then like if you go on Reddit, there's like people bitching about it.
Okay.
So what would you say like was the Division's thing that was like like pissed people off, I guess?
So there's definitely more than one answer to that question. So the beginning of it was like what you're saying. You heard a lot of people being like, "It's stupid that I can go shoot a guy in the head 100 times and he just one shots me."
Yeah.
So that was definitely the biggest complaint at first. But then once all those people dropped off who were gonna drop off and the game got really big, the biggest complaint became the glitches in the game literally broke the game to where it was unplayable as the game was intended to be played. So you could because there's the I forget what it's called, like the dark area, the dark dead zone or something like that.
Dead zone,
where you would play against like PvP, and if you didn't glitch the game out to where you were par with people in the dead zone, you literally, it was uninterable because the game, people would just find game-breaking glitches every week in that game.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, there were points where, like, I think when I finally quit, there was this one where you could just swap weapons back and forth really fast, and it would the game would just keep adding increments of damage to your main hand weapon. So it would add your main hand weapon to your secondary weapon, and then it would take that and like incrementally add that to the like damage over and over and over again. So people would just like just tap Y for a half hour, go in there and just do like millions of damage a bullet.
God. Yeah.
And it was to the point where like, so unless you wanted to have the commitment to do that, you couldn't be even with the other people who were doing that. And then also people would like jump through the graphics of the game and like backdoor like they released like what was it, like a raid boss, and people figured out how to backdoor the whole raid so you didn't have to fight anybody, and then you could just like lob grenades at the boss until he was dead, and then you just walk in there and pick up all the loot. And then there was another way, and then that didn't count towards your weekly whatever, so you could do that all day every day.
Oh, that's awesome.
And so people had fully kitted out characters in the first week of the game when it was supposed to take like 6 months. I don't know, it's not.
People are such assholes. I love it. I do love it though. If someone's gonna find a way to break a game, they will though.
Yeah.
Isn't that like kind of like
what, I forget, Ubisoft? Is that Ubisoft?
Yeah.
And so they have a really bad thing about like, because they're single player, they were, and then they did the Division, and then that's when they're like, oh shit, like people are gonna, like when thousands of people are playing together like on the same server, they're gonna figure out how to break the shit.
Yeah.
When they're not really used to that, because a single player game, you can break the game all you want, but it's just you doing it, so who cares? You know what I mean? Like, it's a completely like you could go into Halo and fucking jump through the graphics and be like, well, that was fun, and then you just go back to the game. But
I remember on Halo 1 in was it Sidewinder?
When you like jumped up on top of the map. We could drive up
on top of the map. Like you had to,
I think it was
jump
Sidewinder.
Off a tank using a ghost.
Was that Halo 2 though?
That was 1.
Okay.
I didn't play Halo 2.
Dude, you should have.
I know, I should have played them all.
No,
I really should have though, man.
You really didn't have to play like Halo 3. Or no, Halo 4. That's the one you didn't have to play.
I didn't.
Good.
Because I only had I had an Xbox, the regular one, in high school. I like saved up my money from like mowing lawn. I've mowed lawns for my neighbors. And
dude, me too.
Bought an Xbox. Xbox was Xbox 360 the next one.
Is that the Xbox 360, Xbox One.
What?
Yeah.
What the? God, they're so stick.
And then now it's Xbox One X.
Right.
And it comes in an Xbox One Xbox. I stole that from Reddit.
That's good. But I mean, like that company's so dumb. Just number 1 through
right.
Whatever.
Like it's so hard. PS1, okay. PS4.
Well,
shit.
And then Nintendo's confusing too because they
change their entire thing every time. It's not even like the same system.
So they changed the whole thing, and they're like.
But I mean, Nintendo doesn't care about that.
I didn't know. This is actually a whole podcast subject, obviously. But I mean, like
the whole like detailed, like specific.
But
podcast.
like the Wii. Well, because Wii U, I had no idea that a Wii U was a new thing. I didn't know it was a new system until
Wii and then Wii U. You didn't realize that the Wii U was separate from the Wii.
I didn't know it was going to be something. I didn't know it was just a completely different, its own system.
And that's
I honestly thought it
was
an
easy to mistake.
I thought it was one of those things where it's like Xbox, like, and then Connect, like Xbox Connect.
I get
You
you.
know, like you.
Yeah,
like,
the
it's just
Wii
an
U, you get
additional thing.
the handheld thing now. Like that's
Yeah.
the Wii U, but no,
Yeah.
it's its own. Okay,
no
I see
idea.
what you're saying.
Like I was like, oh yeah.
Did you have a Wii?
No.
So none of this affected you. You were just like.
I was just like, there's the Wii, and like people got the Wii U with it.
So
you
I
know?
thought the story was gonna end like. So
No.
I bought a Wii. I had a Wii,
Oh, no.
and then like I bought
How
a
it
game that
happened.
said Wii U, and it didn't work,
No.
and I was real pissed.
No,
but no, you're just like, yeah, I heard one day.
The reason why it came, the reason why it even come up in my life is because I was watching like some YouTube channel.
Mhm.
I was watching, I think it was Game Grumps,
Okay.
and they were playing Mario Maker,
Yeah.
and I was like, what the fuck is this? That's awesome.
It
like,
is awesome.
Well, like what is this game? Like, and somebody was like, oh, it's for Wii U, and I'm like.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I have a Wii, like, because I had a
Yeah.
Wii in a box in like a closet, you know, like that's how long it had been
I
since
gave
I played
away
a Wii.
my Wii, like so. I totally hear you. Like
I hate
it's
Wii.
one of those
I
consoles
I
that you're
loved
just
it,
like,
but I hated
it was
it.
so fun, and then you're like, oh, I guess I'm never playing that again. Here you go.
It's such a
Like-
novelty.
Like it's so weird. Yeah, there you go.
It's
That's
such like
good.
a novelty gaming
Yeah.
system because you're like, oh, this is cool, and then you're like, well, I guess I'm gonna go live the rest of my life.
So I played my friend's Micah.
Do you see why this is that's how
Yeah.
typically it's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's its own.
I played Micah's Switch yesterday for the first time. I'd never played with a Switch, but he gave it to me like as a handheld.
As the handheld.
And I was like touching the screen, and apparently that's not a
Is the
touch
screen not a touch
No,
screen?
but
Oh,
like
I
the
didn't know.
Wii U, like
It is a
I
touch
just
screen?
no. Well, the Wii U definitely
It
is
is,
a touch
okay.
screen. And then like yeah, like and I was just assuming I was like, oh, you can like, and I was like, this isn't working at all, and he's like, it's not a fucking touchscreen. I was like, and I was like, so you've never touched the screen? And then he's like, why would I? And I was like, so I touched like I'm the first person to touch the screen
Why would
on
I?
this brand new console of his. I felt like an asshole. Like I was like wiping my face. It's like here, try out my new computer. You just like rub your hand on the screen. And it's like. He's like, why would I touch the screen? And
That's
I'm like,
awesome.
oh yeah.
That's
Shit.
great.
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
I think that's a good as point as any.
Yeah. Hey, thanks for listening to our video game podcast.
Hey, so this is kind of what this is going to be about.
Perfect.
Everybody make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Please do that. And make sure you check out timespentpoorly.fun. And if you're listening to us on the podcast right now, go to YouTube and like and subscribe to the channel. So it's on all of that stuff.
Yeah.
And we're streaming to YouTube now. So
All
Okay.
right. And add me on Google Groups or whatever the hell that was.
oh yeah.
Google-
Okay, so hey,
What?
also
no, I was joking.
make
I
sure
thought you
you-
were gonna end it.
no, hey, also make sure you do if you want. You know, you don't have to make sure. I always feel kind of weird. I'm like, hey, make sure you do this. I'm always like,
Yeah.
hey, if you want,
Well, who cares? Yeah.
if
well,
you feel so inclined,
if you say make sure to do this, it's not like you're holding a gun to anyone's
I
head
guess
anyways.
that's true.
Like they're
Uh,
going to make the choice on
My
their
point
own.
was I'm on Twitter. Anonymous
Oh
Prime.
yeah, there you go.
And I think next week we'll either do a Let's Play. I don't know. I haven't figured it out yet. I want to play around more with the
Actually,
the
hey,
overlays.
if you're watching this, let us know. Like, if you're still watching this, then you're like definitely.
Tell us what you
Yeah,
want.
exactly. Like, do you like this type? Do you like this style? Do you want us playing a game? The only real difference is we'll talk more about the video game when we're playing a video
Yeah,
game.
and less about like what we're doing.
Yeah, and we'll just talk less about our own
Otherwise.
thing. So it's
Okay.
up to you, really. You,
All right. I think that's it.
Yeah.
I'm really bad at ending shows, and also I don't have any music to play yet
Oh,
to
okay,
like
cool.
you know.
So bye.
So, bye.
There, yeah.